Look, let's talk about the most successful president in the history of this nation when it comes to border security, immigration enforcement. He promised the American people he would secure the border. And right now, today, as I'm standing here, we have the most secure border in the history of this country. You know, I just got home last night. I toured the border in California, Arizona, and Texas. By plane, by boat, by four-wheel drive. 3 days on the border, I didn't see one illegal alien. None. I went to hundreds of miles of border and didn't see one illegal alien. I just sat back with the CBP Commissioner Rodney Scott. I said, can you believe this shit? Not one illegal alien. Incredible, considering the Biden administration, we had 10, 12,000 a day, most released in the United States. You know why the Biden administration released millions of people in the United States? No one ever talks about it. I'll talk about it. Why did they release people into the interior of the United States and put them, rather than put them into an ice bed? Why not put them in an empty ice bed at $127 a night rather than in a hotel room at $500 a night? They did it on purpose. Because when you put them in an ice detention bed, they get a hearing in 35 days. Court records show 9 out of 10 people claim asylum, get order removal, they're gone. But if you release them and put them in a hotel room at $500 a night, their hearings could be 5, 7, 9 years if you pull out all appeals. And what are they hoping for then? That another Democrat administration is in power. They can warrant amnesty to millions. This is about selling this country off for future political power. That's what it was. The law clearly says if you arrive at our border without proper documentation, you shall be detained. Not maybe, not think about it, shall. And that's what President Trump's doing. Catch and release is over. That's what the law says, and that's what we've done. I want to make something perfectly clear, because we get attacked all the time being inhumane. The Biden administration is much more humane. It's a bunch of crap. Because there's been studies done that 31% of women that make that journey through the cartels get sexually assaulted. They get raped. And not just the women, children too. I've done numerous investigations in that. Sex trafficking was at historic highs with that open border. Fentanyl, historic highs that killed 250,000 Americans. No inspector terrorists that came across the border. Record, historic. What happened under the Biden administration was the most inhumane thing I've seen in my lifetime. Now that the border is 96% decline, 96% less people are coming, how many women aren't being raped? How many children aren't dying making that journey? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked into this country every day? How many known suspected terrorists aren't just walking across that border? President Trump and this administration is saving thousands of lives every month. Hard stop. That's just a stone cold fact. 500,000 children were smuggled into the country across that open border under Joe Biden. They released them to unvetted sponsors.
And you know, something that you should have that you haven't reported, as you know, 300,000 children are missing under Biden. We've already gotten back 10,000 of those children, and we have a lot more planned to come back.
300,000 children went missing under Joe Biden. They weren't looking for them. They couldn't find them. So far, the Trump administration kept its promise to American people. They've already located 129,000 of these children, thanks to the work of FBI, DHS, and HHS. I've come out of retirement twice for this president. Thank you for doing that, because my wife's still pissed off. People want to know, okay, when am I going to retire for the third time? I'll retire when every public safety threat, national security threat, child rape is eradicated from this country. That's when I'll rest. I woke up every day the last 4 years pissed off because I knew how many children died last night. In 40 years of doing this job, people always want to say, why are you so emotional when you testify? Why are you so emotional on network? Because if they wore my shoes for 40 years, they'd understand why I'm emotional. I've talked to little girls as young as 9 years old that were raped multiple times by the cartel members. And when you get to your knees and you talk to that little girl and everything innocent and pure has been ripped from her, when you listen to the Laken Riley, 17 minutes, that young lady fighting for her life, don't just think, okay, a young woman died. Think of how she died, the terror that she went through, and these children that are sexually assaulted. We're not done yet. We're going to keep going, and I guarantee you we can continue saving thousands and thousands of lives. Secure border means strong national security. Secure border saves lives. Thank you.